Good afternoon, my name is Max Jones. I'm an employee with the Elsip Park District, and today I'm going to show you how to operate and successfully run the Harmsco pool vacuum cleaner. So the things you want to make sure of, I'm going to talk about all in this video, step by step on how to get it operating, as well as tearing it down for once you're done vacuuming the pool. So the first thing you want to do is to make sure that you get your vacuum all set up. Make sure your plug is plugged into an outlet. Get it up so that it's close to the pool without actually being on the grate or in a spot where it can tip over and fall in. One other point of notice is to make sure that you do not vacuum when anybody is in the pool. If anybody is in the pool, you must turn off your vacuum until they leave. So the first thing you want to do, once you got everything all set up and established, is you want to unreel your hose and make sure that the excess slack is in the water. The first thing you do is you want to plug the end into your vacuum. Sometimes you'll be able to just plug it directly right in. In this case, we'll need to use a union to make sure that the connection is nice and tight. So you want to put down the piece first, and then you'll want to fit your hose in there afterwards. You want to make sure that you're holding down on your hose so that you're getting a nice airtight connection. The tighter you go, the better the suction is going to be on the piece. Alright, once you got a nice tight connection, you want to ensure that you are completely connected. So make sure you check the top and the bottom to ensure that there's a nice steady flow. Once you got that, you're just going to toss the rest of your excess hose into the water, and you're going to want to leave it up on the edge like so. Alright, once you have the hose connected from the vacuum to the actual piece itself, you're going to then want to do the step that I call priming up the vacuum. Essentially, that means you're going to get water inside of the vacuum as well as fill up the hose. That way, once you turn the vacuum on, it's going to be a straight and seamless connection of water flowing through the piece and out of the exit hose, okay? So to do this, you want to make sure you have a hose with you that's running like so. The important part, you want to make sure that you don't get the motor wet at all. So usually I like to kink the hose, take this part out first, and just slide that in. You want to make sure that all of your valves are closed at this part. This is to get just enough water in to get the bottom running. Alright, once it starts flowing out like that, that's how you know you'll have enough. And then you're going to fill up this part of the hose right here. Alright, just got to make sure you have no kinks in your hoses. The way that you know that this will be completed is you want to keep an eye on your vacuum over there. Once you get a solid stream of water coming out and a majority of the hose is submerged underwater, that's when you know that you're good to go to plug this thing right in. You also want to hold it away from you in case it splashes back. Start to see a little bit of water coming out from over there. It's important to note that you want to hold the entry point of the water at a higher point than where it's exiting. That's how you'll know for certain that you have water in a majority of the hose. Alright, so you'll see that there's a strong stream coming out of that part of the hose. This sounds like it's freely flowing, so you want to lower it down, put your hose back in the water, and just stick this piece right through. Right after that, you're going to go right towards this part of the vacuum, extend the back out, give it a nice tight twist, and you're going to stick it right in. Put it on a place where it's going to rest and not fall in. And then from there, you're just going to start the vacuum by pressing the top button. From there, you'll see that the hose starts to move. That means that suction is being created. And that also means it's time for you to undo this exhaust valve. So you hear the pressure being released. Make sure your hose is nice and straight like that so that all of the exit water gets into a place safely. And then you give it a couple of minutes, wait for the tank to fill, and then it'll be a complete cycle. If you want to take a look in here, the main thing you're looking for is water getting sucked into this tank right here, which it looks like it is. So once this part is full, then you'll have complete suction of your vacuum. You want to look out behind you, starting to see some water come out from that exhaust, and there it is. Once you have a steady flow of water coming out of your exhaust, that's when you know that you are good to vacuum. If at any point you need to stop the vacuum, here's what you're going to do. You're going to come over to your switch over here. You're going to press the bottom button to turn it off. Now the main thing you want to make sure of is you want to close this valve over here. This keeps the water inside of the tank. It's not going to leak back out into your hose and back into the water. So that's something important that you'll want to do. Pretty full, but this is typically if you'll need to clean out your strainer. So you want to take that piece out, take it right out, do what you need to do, plug it back in right there, make sure you have this resealed. Boom, so you just got that clean. You're going to go right back over here, turn it right on, and then you're going to open your exhaust pipe again. It might take a minute, but as long as you got water coming back in, then it'll restart the process of circulation. Simple as that. The other thing I want to show you real quick, in the event that you have any tough to remove dirt or stains at the bottom, you're going to need to give it a brush. So over here, I have the steel brush that can be found over in the supply closet. Hook it up to one of the long poles. And you're just going to take it right to the bottom, and you're just going to scrape it. Think of it as like brushing the bottom of the floor. So you'll see a cloud of dirt that comes up. Usually I like to position the vacuum right towards where I'm shoveling it so that the vacuum takes up that excess dirt and puts it through the filter. Once you're all done vacuuming up the pool and you got to clean this thing, make sure that you have it completely unplugged. You want to move it over to a top of a drain or a sewer. That'll make everything easy. So, once you have it all done, you're going to open up all of these valves over here. There's one, that's number 2, and then over here is 3 and 4. And on top of that, you're going to take off this lid. That takes all the pressure out of the tank and makes sure that all the water drains out. Again, you want to make sure to do this over a sewer or a drain because depending on how dirty the pool is that you cleaned, it could get pretty messy. After that, you're going to take all the screws off this top. Take that top off. And then this is the filter that collects all of the dirt. So you want to put this over your drain or sewer and you're going to wash that off with a hose. After that, you're going to take the inside of this strainer, pull it out, clear out everything that's inside of it, hose that down as well. Finally, once you're done cleaning those 2 parts, you're going to take a look inside the tank, grab yourself a napkin or a paper towel, and you're going to clean out any sand that's left over. You can see there's a little bit right there. And then of course down in this bottom part where the strainer is, you're going to make sure that that is all cleaned out as well. You don't want any sand or dirt left over in the system because that could be a cause for it to start malfunctioning. Alright, once you're all done with that, everything's all cleared up. You're just gonna put everything back where you found it. Once you're all set with that, you're good to put away your vacuum and let it rest for the evening.